message in the chat box. Okay, so Maya says she's working. Shruti, recording is on, right, Shameen?
Yeah, Mariyam, it is on.
Okay. Okay, so working. Okay. Research scholar working. Okay, Sahla can't hear. I guess there is some issue at Sahla's end. Okay, Sahla is planning to. And a majority of you are already working. Okay, good to know that. So, in this journey as a entrepreneur and raising 4 children, honestly, guilt do strike me at times. So, what is your greatest guilt that you have felt, or at what point you have felt guilt as a working mom? I would like to know that. I'll be sharing mine too. The moments when when this guilt strikes me. I'm waiting to read your message, or you can switch on the mic and say. Balancing time between family and work. When you're not able to balance, you get guilt strikes you, right? What else? I have not much time with my kids and husband. Yes, that is something else. That is one among our priority things. But when that doesn't happen, that too strikes us. Not having quality time with kids, not able to give enough attention to my kids' needs. Okay, I'm just losing track of the chat. Not able to give enough attention when I have a whole day of work and have to just leave the kids behind by themselves. Frustration when work pressure increases, shown on family. Lack of quality time with kids. Mindlessness in attending their issues. Frustration with family, not having quality time. Kind of stress, unfortunately, falling on attitude towards children. Hmm. So I guess things and situations are quite same for all of us. I too get guilty when I'm not able to spend that much time with my children, or when I feel like I'm losing my temper, losing my cool. And recently, when my husband was not well, I was not able to attend to him the way I wanted to. I just squeezed in some time here and there and managed something little. So these are the moments that made me guilty. I rejected a full time job due to work life balance issue and chose to work, which allows me to work from home but not financially yielding as the other full time job. Okay, I see, Nida. Removing the frustration of pressure of work on them. Frustrations of work. Yes, maybe short tempered. Yes. So, this is something that strikes all of us, and there is no exception. So, I'll just walk you through my journey, and this is my small but big family that you see. Um, why I would like you to be with me in this, telling you about the journey, is because I want to show the difference between what people think from outside and how different it can be inside. Okay, so as you know, I'm Mariyam, and I was married quite early. Before that, I had the dreams of becoming a professional and earning very soon after the college, because that is the aim when we all get to college, right? We want to get into job somehow fast and we want to start earning. But after marriage, family became one of my top priorities, and there was a longing for a child. In addition to that, when I got an abortion on the first place, then the longing was even higher. And then I got Isa. That is the one who is standing next to me in the picture. And after getting Isa, my whole priority changed, and parenting became one of the topmost priority. I didn't have the passion to work anymore, not even a bit. And whole energy was spent in raising them. And a majority of the time, it was survival mode. Um, because all the children, as you see, they are nearby, just 1.5 or less of difference between them. And when kids started going to school, I also went as a teacher, as an academic coordinator, and then also started homeschooling my children. And it's 6 years have crossed this. In this June, we have crossed 6 years of homeschooling. And people used to approach for teaching how to get kids to learn lessons because I'm homeschooling, and they also ask doubts regarding parenting and the children's character, and all since I worked in a school, and also maybe because I have 4 children, they wanted to know how things are happening. And on the go, I learned counseling and started Crink, and it's been 2.5 years into um, bringing up together this space that is Crink for parents, helping busy parents manage their parenting in a better way to make peace between the works that we have and also, the family. And presently, I'm doing my master's in psychology. So, all throughout this period, there is a tag that people gave me. Any idea what the tag was? While pregnant and handling small other children, while pregnant and when I was taking classes, while I went to school with my 2-month old, there I had a maid who takes care of the baby, and I used to feed whenever necessary. And also, I used to have some time with the baby also. So there was a tag that, yes, exactly, that was super mom. And recently, while taking a teacher's session in a teacher's training session in a school, a similar kind of intro was given. Quite similar to this super mom kind of thing, like handling homeschooling, entrepreneurship, and 4 children, such kind of an intro. So I corrected then and there, because as a woman, when we look at other women, we feel like, okay, she's doing a good job and I am not. That is something that strikes us every now and then, but we all handle multiple roles. We all have our struggles, we all have our breakdowns, and we all have pleasant days and just the opposite ones. Same is my case as well. And I strongly believe that we don't have to be that superwoman, who is highly energetic and excited, happily managing hundreds of things 365 days a year. That is impossible. And when we dream about becoming that which is, not feasible, we break down immensely. And I'm completely okay with saying that I'm a normal woman, just like everyone who is here. We all have our green days and we all have our red days. But this doesn't mean that we have to be in that frustration, going through all this and lead a life that is full of guilt and irritations. It doesn't mean that we have to neglect our work or kids and be guilty always. We need to enjoy our life. And how we can do that is by maximizing the green days and reducing the red days. Days when we break down, when we get irritated, when we get angry at kids, angry at colleagues, and not feeling like having food or feeling like overeating. These can be there, but the frequency is what we need to change. Do you agree with that? Okay, Nita, Shahbana. Yes, okay. So just recently, I lost myself at the children. I lost my temper at one of my children. And when I checked my diary, it was 2 years and 8 months before I had it last time. And I lost the streak. For this session, I wanted to tell you the streak, but then I lost it, um, recently. So that happens. But um, when kids are small, maybe we don't feel like, taking our anger on them. Maybe at times we put up a fake anger on them, when needed. And but it started when maybe I got Isa, Musa, and maybe with the third, when I got the third one, that was the time when I started using this anger as a tool. And but after a few days, I understood that this is not going to help me anywhere. I see the result when I get angry. Isa is behaving well. But then at that time we had a discussion, me and Rastam had a discussion, and we were telling like, "Oh, this is why parents really use it, because we don't have to take any effort, to get them do something. This is just a matter of a few seconds to get angry." But then we both decided this is not something that we want. And from that time, we both used to take care of that. And it used to happen, once in a year or so. And then when I started tracking, it was like that once in a year. We used to have those days. And it was last time, it was 2.8 years. And I've started the streak again. So I would like you to start this noting and start this streak, and take care maximum not to break the streak that you are continuing. Are you with me? Will you try to do that? Okay. So, what I'm calling you to is not that fancy superwoman category, but to a normal mode where you'll be happier with lesser aggression, doing your duties as a mom, as a professional, without affecting the kids, being just to yourself, and more of green days than red. Let's get started. So, these are the things that we are going to discuss today. First, we'll be discussing requires dedication. Yes, exactly, Rafia. And this is one of the ways that I found out to have that dedication. Me time too. Okay, if I don't discuss that, please bring that question towards the end, Sumaya. How can it be from each and every day to one in a year? Okay, for me, each and every day it was just for maximum for 1 week. Okay, just a few days, I guess. But at that point itself, I could stop. So we'll be discussing that on the go. So these are the three things that we'll be seeing today. First, we'll be discussing the five mantras or the five facts that we need to keep in mind while we think about balancing. And the second is the act of balancing, what to balance and all. And the third is how this balancing is feasible. Let's get into this five mantras on the first place. The first is that children don't need 24 into 7 of parenting. They need to be independent. They need time for free play, and don't ever think that a stay at home mom is being with their child for 24 into 7. I was one, and I can guarantee you that maybe when they are small, but as they grow up, there is no necessity to be with them 24 into 7. And also we have our other regular duties. So no one can be with them 24 into 7. And of course, we have to make sure of their safety, their wellness, and all. But 24 into 7 parenting or helicopter parenting, noting everything that they are doing, correcting at every point, that is not needed. If we do that, kids will naturally lack confidence. They will decrease in their discoveries that they make. They'll have lesser time with their peers. They'll make lesser mistakes, but that is also going to harm them on a long run. So that is the first point. Children don't need 24 into 7 of parenting. So taking out time for our work is perfectly fine. Now, the second one. Instead, what they need is an involved or an active parent in their life. Please don't neglect them. It's not just the material stuff that we provide that they need. Be involved with their emotions, whatever is happening in their life, and particularly in molding them. And we need to have time for them. How much time and how we'll allot and all we'll be discussing on the go. Third is you cannot have it all. For example, if you take a stay-at-home mom, she does the cooking, she does the cleaning, and taking care of the children and maybe other people who are there in house. It's no easy job. And when you start working, a good amount of your time do go in, in your work. So how will you squeeze this work into the regular tasks that you are doing? That is quite impossible. So you will have to compromise here and there. You will have to dedicate certain things. And remember that the imaginary superwoman does not exist, but we what we are compromising on and how we are compromising on things makes a lot of difference. We'll be discussing that also in the session. Next, you always hear don't mix family and profession. That is an advice that we always hear from outside, but that's mission impossible. If you have a sick child at your house, that will definitely be there in your mind when you come to work. If great things are happening at work, you'll carry that energy, that full energy, you'll be carrying it to your home, and you'll be spreading that with your children and your spouse. So, as a person, we will be mixing these vibes at both ends. So that is why this balancing, becomes more crucial. And fifth one is being a conscious working mom. We are all working mothers, but we need to be a conscious working mother. This is one suggestion that I give every parent who is working. Consciousness, we all know that someone told about mindfulness in the chat, and we know that it is being aware of what is happening around and responding based on that awareness. Just like we are mindful of what we take and eat when we are dieting, you have to be conscious and mindful in your parenting and in your workspace also. When we all diet, we mostly we women have a tendency to eat the leftover food that is there at night, right? I do that. I used to do that quite often because I don't want to put those little amount of food in the fridge. So I used to do that. And but when we are dieting, we do take care of that, and be very conscious that we don't eat anything that is extra. So same what happens in with children is you notice a negative behavior in your child, and say, for example, your child lies to you and you're not conscious, but you respond in a negative manner, and that will worsen the situation, and you leave it. And again, you'll think about this only the next time you see the child lying again. But if you are conscious, a right response will come from you at that time, and you will address that issue before and another episode of lie comes, because you are mindful about that. So being conscious helps us work on the situation beforehand. This is hard to do in the heat of the moment, but like most things, it gets easier as we try it out. So we are getting into the act of balancing. The what? As humans, we are all social beings. We deal with people. We need to be satisfied in various areas to feel contented in life. So let's explore a few areas that we deal with, and how to act there, which will in turn, help us in balancing. We said that kids don't need 24 into 7 of parenting. So what else do they need? This question will also be answered in this section. So this one here in the center is me. I mean, we all us, okay? Just consider it as yourself. And in the immediate circle, people whom we constantly interact with, and not just constantly interact, those who are, very much close to us, are our spouse and our kids. Then there are people whom we regularly interact with, maybe our parents, our partners' parents, our friends, and colleagues. These are the people in the third circle. And then there are people outside that, where whom we interact, once in a while. So in this immediate three category, we will focus on doing some things that might seem as extra, but those are not things that are extra. Those are the basic stuffs. We'll get more clarity on the go. Okay, first we are getting into this first circle, that is the me circle. My slide, I can see only the slide there. That's why I'm looking there. Okay, so first we are getting into this circle. So I want your answer in this. How much time can you climb the stairs continuously? It depends from person to person, but continuously climbing the stairs, how much time will you be able to? What do you think? Any rough guesses? Come on, quick. 2 minutes, 3 minutes. What about others? Come on. Not more than 10 minutes. Maximum 5, 6. Okay. So it depends on person to person. It depends on our own capacity, right? Okay. Some says 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 5. In other aspects also, how much negativity we can withhold, that also depends on our own capacity. It's different from people to people. How much struggles we'll be able to face without getting irritated, without getting angry. That also depends on our capacity. Our ability to enjoy the good things that are around and our ability to withstand the not so good things, that all depends on our individual capacity. Do you agree to that? It's different for us. Okay. Akhila, Mariam, Fatima, Sharon, Febin, thank you for your response. So it depends from person to person. Now, let me ask you, what if you take a 2 minutes break after every 4 minutes? Or for those who said you can walk for 2 minutes, just imagine taking a 1 minute break after every 2 minutes. Will you be able to climb for longer time? What do you think? Of course, yes. Yes. So, whatever was our capacity before, we will definitely be able to move a lot more time ahead. So, this is where, the me time or the breaks that we give comes into picture. If you give breaks at the apt time, you will be able to climb for longer. Knowing how to balance various activities in our life to increase this capacity. This is perhaps the most important skill that we all need. It is not that the other woman next door, she has 365 days of good time or good energy. The thing is, as long as you give apt number of or apt breaks in between and fill that break with a suitable task or a suitable activity, that will take you for, that will take you longer. So set habits that keep you healthy, focused, energized, and that increases your capacity. That also depends from people to people. Activities like, for some, we'll get that capacity to move ahead and be energetic when we spend a 20 minutes when we have a 20 minutes of workout every day. For some, it can be a 20 minutes of spiritual time every day, or one deliberate act of kindness or love that you show your spouse. That can be a boost. Being mindful of eating and taking care of your diet, that may be a boost. Going out for dinner with your bestie, sometimes that will give you a longer, walk time. Spending some time for your passion, for your work, without any disturbance, that will give you a clear mind to take the journey forward. So let me know in the chat box what increases your capacity. Um, can you see the slide?
Yeah, Mariyam. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, talking with friend, prayer, meditation, stepping on beach sand, workout, mindful sleep, workout, spouse time, coffee time with friend, journaling. workout and healthy eating. So list out 4 to 5 things like this that you can do regularly. The list has to be specific and it has to be measurable. Like, I will do this 4 times in a week. I'll do journaling every day. I'll work out for 5 days a week. So it's not magic that you see. If you continuously keep missing these regular habits, you're sure to reach your minimum capacity. And my range is approximately 2 weeks of missing them. I can withhold 1 week of missing my regular activities. I can withhold another week also with difficulty. But then once I cross this 2 weeks, I'm sure to lose. And that is what happened recently as well. So, missing a day or two is perfectly fine. That will be like that at times. But please take care. Let's all take care to have that set, that 4 5 activities that we can, and keep doing at least one every day so that we can climb the stairs for a longer time. And also, I want you to start with just one. Doing nothing for a few minutes. Yes, that gives a lot of calmness. Saliha. I'm an artist, so I paint daily, Nita. Nice. And ask yourself, what is one thing if you do every day that will change your life? And focusing on yourself is very valuable. As we say, like you cannot pour from an empty cup. If you are drowning, you won't be able to help the other person who is drowning. Similarly, focus on yourself. Give yourself me time. Someone asked about me time here. Give yourself this time and space to recharge yourself. And these may seem as something extra, outing with a friend, organizing or reading a book, when you have a lot of works to handle at house and also in your workspace, when there are deadlines, these may seem as extra. That is why I said these may seem like extra things, but these are the basic things that will keep us going, that will help us, climb the stairs for longer. Next is recognizing your present energy level. Let's discuss about the 4 categories of energy levels, 4 levels of energy. The first one is a given up stage where you are completely drained out, you're depressed, exhausted, burnt out, you feel you're defeated, you can't do anything. That is one stage. Level 2 is the coping stage when you feel angry, you're fearful, you're defensive, and you're resentful, maybe. That is a level 2. And level 3 is a contented stage where you are a lot contented and you are in a serene state. And level 4 is the excited state where you're confident, you're joyful, you're enthusiastic. And when the previously said habits are there in place continuously, the chances of dropping from the fourth stage to the first suddenly can be prevented to an extent. To a greater extent, it can be prevented. But when those habits are not there in place, for me, I said it is 2 weeks of missing that I get into a danger zone. So when those activities are not there, then from this fourth state to the first state, you can, pass any moment. And when getting back from work, you feel so tired, like you don't, at that time, your energy matters a lot. You may get angry very fast when you're feeling tired. So take care to take some rest, take bath, do something that energizes you, and then interact with your children. So recognizing your energy level at different points is highly helpful. Now, who are the people that energize you? What are the places that energize you? What are the things and what are the activities that energize you? I don't think we have time to list it out, but I want you to um, all note this. What are the who are the people, places, things, and activities that energizes you, and also those that drain you. For example, people. Let me know. See, one exercise we'll do together. Who are the people who energize you? Come on. Sumaya, Nazreen, extra things build guilt, right? I didn't get you. Sumaya, would be good if you can keep the question towards the end. I'll surely address that. Yes, friends, parents, yes, spouse. That will be a few people who energizes us. And what about the people who drain us? We used to have a neighbor when we were in Calicut, okay, some many years back. So there is a old mother there, and me and my husband and also two kids were there at that time. And every time we go out, and this mother used to ask, "Oh, you are going out? Don't you have any work at house? Will you be having food from outside?" Actually, these are simple questions that she asks, but it used to, drain me a lot. So likewise, you'll also have negative people. Yes, you'll also have, people who drain your energy, and similarly, there'll be places that drain, and also places that energize you, and things and activities. So after this session, I would like you all to, note this and send in the WhatsApp group that you are a part of. Um, so what I would like to conclude is here, the time that we spent on us and spend for the small, happiness that we have in our life is not extra. If you are in a joint family and you taking some time out with your friends or with your spouse, it can be a little weird there, but that can look extra, but it is the basic stuff that you need if you want to keep climbing for a longer time. I hope I'm clear there. Next, we are moving on to the next cycle with children. And with children at different ages, we need to focus on a lot of things, lot of different things. We need to, in the early stage, we need to provide a safe and nurturing environment and plenty of love and affection. And at every time, our priorities change, and also the things that we need to do with them changes. There has to be independence, basic manners from 3 to 5, from 6 to 12, somewhat same, but then there are more things that are to be added. And this will be shared as a PDF to you for further reference. So anyone who needs this PDF, that is what all you need to take care in your children when they cross each category of, I mean, each age group. You can message Shruti, and Shruti's number will be there in the chat box now. Okay, so let's quickly discuss what all we need to take care of, whatever be the age. At any age, you need to focus on providing them with a safe environment at home. Safe in the sense free from criticisms, free from torture, emotional torture, free from shaming, free from physical torture. Provide safety physically and emotionally. Let them get used to the calm environment that you are providing. The reason is once they get used to your shoutings on continuous basis, on a daily basis, they get immune to that. And then when you see that your shouting is not working properly, then you switch to spanking. And later, when the child gets used to that, that is when you start hitting hard. And maybe at one point when they reach their teens or so, or we are hearing that quite, at an earlier phase, like 8 years, 9 years, the child is not affected even if you spank. So it's not very easy to revert back, even though we are doing that, and it will take some time. We, in the sense, we are helping parents do that through Crink. Reverting back will take time and it will require effort. But on the first place, what you can do is you can prevent yourself from switching to that mode. So it's very easy to revert to aggression, violence, and shaming the child. And over the years, they get that every interaction that you give them, that will be there in their mind, and that will create a lot of troubles in future, like our attitude and behavior that can be psychologically damaging to the child. They may develop negative behaviors, and they may think negatively about themselves, and it will start affecting them in a manner um, that is hard to rewind. And at any stage, we have to give them a space to grow emotionally. Rather than expecting kids to be a puppet, like dancing to what you say, let's give them a space to grow, and give them a time to come to our thought process. Don't just dictate rules to them. Teach them how to think and not what to think. For example, instead of saying that I give you a lot of pocket money and can't you see that, our maid is needy, she's going through a hospital case and she needs a lot of money, so do give your money. That is one way in which we can, tell our child to spend their money, their savings in a right way or for a right cause. But there, what we are telling is we are telling them what to do. But instead, without telling them that, we can get into their thought process, like discussing the case of that auntie who is coming here, and how recently there was our a lady in our flat. She was a worker here, her husband is in the hospital and she needs a lot of money. So in such situations, discuss those cases with the child, and at one point when you discuss and when you discuss about your decision to give the money, the child may pitch in and say that they'll also pull in. So always bring that discussion and give them space and time. It won't happen in one go. When you start discussing it itself, it won't happen, but slowly it'll give fruits. But if you force, please remember that will only happen at that time. When you force, your child will be doing, but there won't be a continuous effort. But when they start thinking in the right process, when you give them the right input to think, then slowly that will change their character for the positive. Third thing is build on your relationship with the child. To build that influence, invest in a good relationship with the child. When I was working from home, I had a lot of interactions with the children. Maybe small interactions, just a hug, just a kiss. But when I started working from office, I started missing them. And I knew how that impact was before. So, what I'm doing now is I'm trying to bring in small interactions through the phone during the morning time, and also we have set specific time on weekends, and also after getting from office, to just hear them out and be with them, and also to be a part of their thought process. Another thing that we need to focus on is giving them the right attitude. How you react immediately to situations, maybe a crisis like COVID time past, flood past, and the irritations you show to people, the hope you put in situations when it pops up. So, the basic attitude that they have for life, which they will carry ahead in their entire life, that is coming from you. The attitude that they have for their entire life, and especially when situations pop up, please keep this in mind. So have in mind that always we are in a training program where we are training our children on a continuous basis. And if we don't take it seriously and invest in providing a safe and calm environment for the children, we'll be raising adults who find it very difficult to cope with situations. You'll be raising adults who will give up very fast. They will turn hopeless very fast. They cannot imagine that, okay, I can solve this situation. They'll be drowning in guilt because the child was continuously, continuously hearing all the negatives from others around. And also they'll be able to they will struggle in forming close relationships and warm relationships with others, which can affect even their future life with their spouse, with their kids, with their colleagues. And we see that a lot of them get into depression as well due to the home atmosphere that we give them. So let's be careful about that. And if we are consciously investing in the right way, giving them the right time, giving them time to hear them out and being patient with them, if we consciously invest like that, we'll be providing safety and confidence to them. We'll be able to give them the signal that we are readily available for them, that we are sensitive to their emotions and respond well when they have a problem. So there is a sense of safety and security that comes when we attend to them. And this security builds confidence in the child. They'll be, when this confidence is there, they'll be able to explore more without being clingy to you. Normally we hear like when kids are being so clingy, we tell that it is because we have not made them independent. But we have to make them independent, and the first step of making them independent is to provide them that emotional safety and security by showing that we are there for them. It is not the opposite. It is not by separating that they become independent. It is when you provide that safety and security that they have the confidence to move ahead. So this is where Crink supports busy parents establish these things successfully, because if controlling our children was our aim, nothing, this is not needed, right? If controlling is our aim, then we can revert to aggression at any point and we can stick on to it. But if your aim is raising secure, confident adults, then we need to establish love, care, and positive boundaries in a way that they feel like obeying. It is not out of force or pressure that they need to obey. They need to feel like obeying. And at Crink, as a parent approaches, what we do is we analyze the struggles that they have and find the root cause behind it and set goals and provide them the right action steps to follow on a daily basis, considering your availability, because we are all busy and we know how difficult it is. We customize your time so that you spend it on the right thing in the right way. And in the basics that we are discussing, we'll be helping you out implement those as well. So um, we also do help in attending to your time management, your anchor, in building children, molding children with more confidence. We also help you attend to their hyperactivity, etc. So for any parenting struggle, you can approach Crink. I would like to tell you a client story as well. Usually when people come to seek help with Crink, it is a majority of the time it is through word of mouth. Like those who are using our services, they see it helpful and they suggest to their friends. And when they come in, automatically they'll be impressed and they know us, and there will be a lot of respect that they give us because they know the work that we are doing. But this client, when she came to us, she just saw one or two posts or something, and she came and joined. But maybe because of that, she didn't have a she was not sure about the result, and that doubt was always there. While talking to her, I could sense that the problem that she faced was her 8-year-old daughter was very adamant, not obeying, started talking back to her, and she had to manage a younger one also. So the elder one is not at all cooperating, and the mother, she doesn't like the mother spending time with the younger one, and there was a lot of chaos. So she was saying, these are the situations, I don't know how you can help me, but these are the situations for which I need help. And I assured her that I'll help you to the maximum of my capability. And we started the journey. And over a few weeks, I could see that she became more lighter to me, and in how she's dealing, in her approach, that was evident. And after a month, I heard her say that, Mariam, I can see a change in me now. If such a situation had happened before, then I wouldn't have reacted this way. But still, there is no change in my child. Okay. I appreciated her for the effort that she's taking, and also gave her a little boost to continue doing the same. And after one more month down the lane, I still remember the happiness with which she said that, now I can see change in my daughter. Her tantrums are reduced and there is more positive interactions than friction. And after all, she felt more control over the situations, more control and influence over her children. So what I'm trying to say is, seek help when needed, not just with children, but with children. It is Crink is there to support you. So put your trust and keep trying. Result will surely follow. And if you have any concerns related to parenting, we are here to support you. So keep that in mind. And the next person who comes in that second circle is your spouse. Every relation that you value, don't take it for granted. Build on it. It might seem it's extra, but those are the basics. Your spouse. With your kids, we just learned what all you need to take care of. And always remember to make time for each other as couples. Focus on feeling each other's positivity, because you'll have bigger goals to achieve. Let not the small arguments and the small things that happen hinder them, and seek help where needed. That is something that I would like to stress on here also. And me and my husband, we have a charging time regularly. Mostly it is once per week. Whenever we can squeeze in some time, we go out without kids. Okay, without kids. Um, we travel together, and those may seem as extra, maybe to a third person, but these are the basic stuff. In joint family also, I would request you, these are the basics. Please don't think of anything else. Normally people will get used to it. And another positive that I have is, since Rastam is also involved in Crink, we get a lot of togetherness. We get a lot of proximity since we are working together. Also, he has another work, but surely, definitely, I use his expertise also here in Crink. So that is also quite refreshing. But what I would like to say is, if you and your husband are together in one business or in one project together, see that you have conversations outside the work. Make conversations about yourself, your feeling, how you value each other, and have time for each other to, as a person, to discuss yourself. Give space for emotions. And having a good relationship with a spouse is one of the best things that you can do. And most of the time, since Rastam is also involved in Crink, my team members at times, they ask me, what did Rastam say about this? When will Rastam be doing this? Can you ask this and ask about this and get some insights from Rastam? Every request like that, I ask them to ask Rastam directly. That's because I don't want to keep talking about Crink, even though discussions about Crink is there a lot of times. I have many things to discuss with him about Crink. But when I start discussing about other things also, only that will be the subject here. So I don't want that. So bring in discussions about yourself and have that feeling of togetherness with your partner. Now, coming to the third circle, what does doing extra mean here is, let's take the example of parents. There can be of different opinions, um, where you have difference of opinion with your parents, maybe from feeding your child to which doctor to visit, how to raise your kids. There are a lot of opportunities where you may differ with them, but have discussions outside this. Make sure that you build on this relationship as well. Have discussions in those areas where you both are united. I would like to know what is the difference of opinions that you have with your parents. But since time is limited, I'm going ahead. So build on the relation. Make sure that they know that you love them. Discuss things what they like. And same with your work also. Doing that extra bit makes your presence really valuable in your company. And I'm very poor in keeping distant relationships with your friends. There also, what we need to do is we need to continue this, giving some extra. And when these or a majority of these are happening, this happiness that is there in you, that energy that is there in you, it will surely start radiating to other people around other people outside the three circles, the auto guy that you see, the sweeper in your office, to everyone that will be reflecting, and you'll radiate that positivity and you'll get that back, get it back from everyone. So those are the things that you need to keep in mind. And next is a few things to make this happen. How will you make this happen? That is the next question. So it's very easy to go behind the urgent things there. When you have um okay, have scheduled meetings or scheduled time on a daily basis, at least for 3 or 4 days, for tasks that are repeating, tasks that you need to do repeatedly for your company. Like, for example, if I have to take a webinar every month, I need to have a time allotted way before the event, so that slowly I can build on the content and I can finish my work. So, and even if we completely plan things and try avoiding the urgency, still things can change. Things may pop up every now and then. Guests coming in can change your schedule. Change Other changes in schedule can happen. Urgent travels can be there. Health issues can be there. So these all are there to push you into urgency mode, like running behind the thing that is immediately in front. You'll be rushing the last moment. But when you schedule your works way before and start working on it little by little every day, that will get you away from this urgency mode. And if we go behind the urgent tasks, we'll be attending only to office works, because those are the ones that has deadlines. while our health, our relationship with our spouse, or the influence that we want to build on our children, those will be suffering. And these because that don't have a deadline, so we'll be pushed to follow this urgent situation that is in front, and we lose our control in the other things which will cause a negative impact. So have time scheduled in your calendar for the aspects we discussed, um, and for your work related, repetitive tasks. At different times we doubt whether we need to really do what we are doing, and at that point working on our priorities will help us. We'll do a simple exercise now. um, the first thing is we need to see we have several tasks in front of us, and we may wonder whether we need to do this now or later. So make a list of all aspects of your life that you need to work on, and reduce the list to a 5 or 6 number. Like, for example, I have to clean, I need to work or contribute to the society. That is another necessity that I have. I need to raise my kids with love and safe environment. I need to teach my kids. I need to value and work on what others think of me and my kids. Because at times I see that many of us are affected by what people are saying. When people say that your children are not speaking properly, you get affected. You next your try will be to, make them speak well so that others don't realize that. And I need to avoid all store bought food for my child. These are all the things that we have. We are concerned about their health, and these are all the things that we want to do. But how far is our priority working? That is what we are going to check now. So make this list of 5 to 6 things, and first compare the first and the second. I have to clean, I need to work. Which is the priority that I am giving to? One or two? Which is the one that you are giving? When you compare one and two, which is more important to you? I have to clean the house, I have to work. Two, I need to work. That is my, okay, mine also is in a similar way. And next, what we need to do is we need to compare the first to the third. I need to raise my child with love in a safe environment, and I have to cook or I have to clean. Which is more important? Three, definitely. Next is we need to compare the first with the fourth. I need to clean, I need to teach my kid. Which is more important? And four. So as you find one point important, you just give a tick mark across that. So first we gave tick to the two, then we gave tick to the third point, then we gave tick to the fourth point. And priorities can change for everyone. It's not the same for everyone. So similarly, compare it to the fifth and compare it to the sixth. Then what you need to do is take the second point. I need to work and compare that with the third. I need to work. I need to raise my child with love. Then compare the second with the fourth, with the fifth, with the sixth. And in the end, you'll be getting a chart like this. Here, the priorities are all very clear. The maximum ticks you have, the maximum priority you need to give. So always have the have this check on the priority, and those things that are not your priority, please delegate wherever possible. If after doing this, even though giving cleaning to someone is difficult for you, if after doing this activity you find that it is of least important and that is where you can save time, please delegate that. And next we are discussing, I told about delegating, next we are discussing about the things that you should never ever delegate. Okay, in that category comes the character building of your child, developing child's social skills, building your influence over the child in such a manner that when you say something, they give respect to you, they give importance to it, and they obey. And giving your presence to the child, building confidence, independence, giving them good habits, emotional security. These things, no one else will be able to do it for you. So, how to behave to others, that is a social skills. Always remember, an adult who is struggling with maintaining a good character, there's a greater chance that as a child he or she missed having a good lesson from their parents. There's a greater chance for that. So their habits, behavior, independence, confidence, these no one else can replace you. That is why when people say that my mother takes care of my children better than me, I don't believe it. They'll be able to provide more safety. They'll be able to take care of their physical health. But the emotional security that your child needs, that no one else can provide like the way you are providing. And in these areas also, Crink is helping you address it smoothly within your limited time, because we have to be successful in this role, um, in addition to the work that we are handling. And what we provide is we give you mentor support, where the mentor will be analyzing your situation and suggesting you the apt steps to follow. So this actually, when we build on these with our children, we become more satisfied, we become contented, and that will positively affect our work also. We'll be more productive there. So delegate only that which is apt. Invest in your rest. If you need help, seek it. There is no shame in that. And if you can spend at least 15 minutes a day, or 10 minutes a day, or at least 15 minutes a week, we'll be able to help you out make progress. And give kids small responsibilities that they enjoy. Take them to your workplace. Me and my husband used to take them to his workplace when they were very small, from 1 year old or so, and they are now actively involved in Crink also. One is developing Crink's app, another one is involved in video editing, my third one helped me out with the slides today. So and it's like watering the plant. Don't force it on them, but the little efforts that you see to bring that interest in them, be consistent, and you'll slowly see that they are actively participating in that, and slowly things will become easier for you when they turn independent. And don't dig your grave. By this, what I mean is like offering screens and getting things done. And as I said before, shouting and spanking, at that time you'll see that okay, it is giving a lot of result. When you put your child in one corner with a screen, we normally see even in supermarkets, in our olden time when we go to a shop, we used to enjoy watching things around. But now we see that children are on, they don't know what is happening, they don't want to know, they're completely on their screen. So these things, on a long term, it's not going to give you a good result. Similarly, your anger, again, it will get into that guilt cycle. And always remember, there is a difference between the pleasure that we get from an activity and also the satisfaction factor. For example, pleasure, it cannot be sustained beyond the completion of an activity. For example, we feel pleasure when we watch Insta reels, we enjoy, but afterwards we feel guilty. And on the other way, things that give us satisfaction are quite different. When we exercise during the process, it's quite tough. It's not going to give us any pleasure on the first place. But afterwards, we feel satisfied. So do those things that give you satisfaction, and like giving the child a mobile and uh, solving the situation. It can give you pleasure for the moment, but not satisfaction. Okay, so they may not act like you now. You may think that I'm acting well. Why is my child not doing that? But remember, every interaction that you give, it is being instilled in their brain. They are great observers and learners. And as working mothers, there's a lot of value that we can pass to them, about good work ethic, to learn about various career options, and to be focused, to give them an example of being focused and energetic. That is nice. But on the other side, please see that you are not giving those negatives as well, negatives that we discussed already. And get in touch with your dissatisfaction or the guilt factor, pinpoint it exactly, look at what thing is bringing that guilt, work on them, take help where necessary. If you feel your child's behavior is causing that guilt, you're feeling that I'm not doing enough, please find time and work on that. And if you need help, please take it. So we may not be able to have time like others, but it's not our work that is hindering or causing guilt, but working on the wrong choices is what pushes us into guilt. And that is same for us working parents and also for stay at home moms. If we chose to delegate those things that are not apt, we'll surely be guilty. And if we choose not to work on the things that we need to, the extras that seem as basic, I mean, the basics that may seem as extras, if we skip doing that, if we are a working mom or if we are a stay at home mom, that is going to negatively affect us. So the best thing that you can do is have time regularly for the things that really matter. And if you're confused what to or how to go about situations, if it's related to parenting, do ask Crink's support. If it's related to some other area, please get apt support in that area as well. So I wish you all have a good time balancing your work and family. So do follow us in social media. We are there in Insta, Facebook, and this is Crink's number in case you want any help. Those who need that downloadable, that is different age, what we need to attend to in different age groups, then please message Shruti. Shruti's number is there in the chat box, in the slide, and also Shruti will be putting that in the chat box. Also, there will be a feedback form that is posted now in the chat box. Please give your valuable suggestions and feedbacks of the session there. Yes, Dubina has posted the feedback form and Shruti has posted the number. In case you have any doubts, we can clear for quickly for another 5 minutes. Do you have any doubts, my dears? Okay, one started how to keep consistent. The best way is not to lose your streak, to get back on track. And another thing, Agla, that what you can do is always, if you can have a buddy, an accountability buddy, where both of you keep account of what you are doing, then that will be helpful to get back on track fast. And why the mentorship program that Kling provides works and gives result is because there is always an accountability factor. When a mentor suggests you certain actions to do with the child or to do for yourself, there's always an accountability factor because the mentor will be asking the next week and she'll be helping you out with your struggles. So try to have an accountability buddy. It can be your friend, it can be your spouse, anyone who will remind you and motivate you to get back. So after mentoring, see why we give mentoring for 3 months or 6 months is because by that time it will slowly become your habit. If you don't do it, you'll feel a problem inside. Any other doubts? How to do check the streak? Sorry, Shruti, what is that?
Mariyam, parents may not be understanding it, so I want you to explain it a little
Which
more.
which one?
Streak part. How to do that?
What is the streak part? I said I'm sorry.
We're just explaining, right? How to be consistent.
Mm, um, I'm sorry. Like, you mean what streak is? It is a continuous thing that you do. Like in the beginning, when I said I lost my temper with one of my children after 2 years and 8 months. Okay, so I was in that streak of going on the right path, and then I broke the streak. So keeping track of that streak, how long you're doing it, that will help. Is that what you meant, Shruti, to explain?
Yeah, how to keep account of that. Yeah.
Okay, and in the group also, I asked you to put something. What was that? Mm, was it people activity that energizes you? Who was there very active in the session? Who remembers? Any more doubt, or can we wind up? I know it's late.
Ma'am, can I get the recorded version of this class?
Sure, sure. You can message Shruti for all that. She'll be providing.
Okay, I'm hearing this while I was traveling.
Okay, okay. Yeah, you can watch it when time permits.
For doubt also, I have to contact Shruti, ma'am.
Yeah, you can contact Shruti. So
Thank you.
this, let's put it in the WhatsApp group. People, place, things, and activities. I know people, it's not easy to put. Maybe the other things that you are comfortable, you can put in the chat box in WhatsApp. I remember something else also. I've asked you to put in the chat box and keep that streak as we said. What are the prices and packages? Natasha, you can message Shruti for the same. Um, Consistency was the problem, but it's little more good through online counseling session. Consistency is needed. Remind us to yes to note down those how to manage the difficulties of blending career in a joint family. um, in joint family it becomes even tougher because there are a lot of other decision factors that are there, and people who are intervening, and we need to take care of a lot of other things. But slowly, by setting one thing at a time, we'll be able to please people, places, things, and activities. Okay, that is what I asked you to put. Okay, okay, prices you can message. And Risha, in joint family, one thing that you can do is, or the first thing what you need to do is, you focus on those basics, especially in the me circle, the first circle. Focus on doing that, and slowly you'll see result. People will slowly get used to that, because in joint family it's very difficult to get started with something like that. But get started and see the result. Okay, so if there are no other doubts, then I'm sorry for closing. Okay, if there are no other doubts, we can wind up. And thank you. Yes, good night, Natasha. Yes, Dubina is saying, please do give us feedback. Do fill in that form that Dubina has posted. I'll just post it again. Do fill in that form and let us know how the session was and your suggestions for improvement. And okay, see you all in one of the coming sessions. Take care. Bye bye.